Pony Baseball was founded in Washington, Pennsylvania in 1951, originally for 13 and 14-year-old boys. Pony is an acronym for Protect Our Nation's Youth. The original goals for Pony Baseball in the early 1950s was to create an opportunity for young boys to get off the streets and onto the playing fields, how to win and lose gracefully, and how to respect authority in the form of a coach. And those characteristics are still the core of Pony Baseball and softball almost 60 years later.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Good, hey!
Yeah, the concept of the Friendship Series has worked. We've been involved for 4 years, 4 or 5 years now.
So it was really a wonderful opportunity so that I can look back 10, 20 years from now and say, I did that with my son to go to Japan.
I feel as if it's an honor. We've obviously been selected because Coach Evans and other coaches have confidence in us as a baseball player. But I think the biggest thing is that knowing that they had confidence in us as ambassadors of the U.S. over in Japan, and that really speaks about more of yourself as a person, not only as a baseball player.
I think we're all becoming better players just because you're seeing different sides of the game and how it can be played. And down the road in our baseball careers, we might be a step ahead of someone that hasn't seen this side of the game, and we can use that to our advantage.
The elements to make this team are really pretty basic. You have to be a good citizen. You have to represent your organization. You have to represent your state. You have to represent your country. You don't get extra points for being a really good citizen. That's an absolute threshold requirement. Secondly, you have to be nominated by your coach to even be considered. And thirdly, where their enthusiasm was going to carry them in terms of how they fit in with the rest of the team. When we add all those things together, we had a true team.
Being selected to play on this team to me was an honor because not many players in the country or in the world get to travel halfway across the world to go play baseball and just exchange cultures with people that are completely different.
Let's say
Very first of the river.
the very first of the river.
And the next song is Higurashi.
The next song is Higurashi.
Voice of the cicada.
That is the voice of the cicada.
Well, I was extremely proud to have my son play on Team United States.
The moment that I realized the enormity of where we were and what was going on was when we were at our first baseball game. The first time the boys were announced and were lining up on the field, I was taken back and teared up and realized that we are in Japan, we are playing baseball in Japan, and when the American flag was raised, I cried, and I will never forget that.
I would say reality set in that he was actually playing in Japan the first time they played the Star-Spangled Banner when we were at the opening ceremony. That I knew I was going to cry when I heard that going on, but that is when it actually, and I could do it right now. I could cry right now just thinking of the experience that he had, but that's when reality did set in, when I heard that.
It happened when we heard the Star-Spangled Banner and when we saw the flag being raised in the outfield, and seeing the raising of the flag and seeing the raising of the Japanese flag during their anthem was a moment of pride in all of us, and I think we all shed a tear at that moment. John told us before we started on the trip, at that moment you're going to realize how neat of an experience it really is, and that's that moment. That was that moment for me.
USA on 3, 1, 2, 3, USA!